look around the NFL with Ian Rapoport. How you feeling, my man? We got to get this walk.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
There we go. We got the walk-ons billboard out of. We got Drew Brees' billboard out of the way. You
I
know
like
that
walk-ons. Walk-ons is a good place.
Isn't it awesome? Have you had the ruby redfish?
I'm sure that I have. I haven't been in a little while, but
So good.
all of the like really super Cajun-y things, that's always what I get. So yes.
Oh, dude, it is so good. I get it with that loaded mash because Walk-Ons is one of our sponsors. We do our Hurricanes pre and post game shows there.
Nice.
So yeah, I have one and it happens to be close to my house. So I love that I only have to drive a mile to go to to do the job. So it's a beautiful thing.
That.
But but that place is wow, dude. That is a good sports bar, brother. They do something really weird there. They actually have good service because, brother, it is hard to find good service nowadays. Post-pandemic,
it's gotten tough. Lord. It has gotten tough.
It's gotten tough, brother. It's gotten tough. You know what's gotten tough? That NFL owners room. It's gotten a little tough there with Snyder and. I give Irsay some credit because he's probably saying what a lot of people want to say. And, I tripped out with him saying, well, he can investigate me all he wants. And God bless Irsay. His problems already came out in public. He addressed those demons. He fought those demons and won and all that stuff. So to him, he's got, that's the question. How many of the guys are in his stage where they got nothing to hide, and they say, yeah, this guy should be out.
Well, I mean, there was so many different layers of intrigue to this yesterday when Jim Irsay walked down the steps from the owners' meeting and said all of the things he said. And I think one of the more intriguing things is, there was that story about, Dan Snyder hiring private investigators to look into the past of owners and kind of have opposition research ready. Who knows? I don't know. I never independently corroborated that. I guess anything is possible, but who knows? He has denied it. But it doesn't matter because if you're Jim Irsay, your skeletons are out. I mean, your arrest, the circumstances behind it, anything with substances that has come out, it's all out there. So, in a way, he's the perfect person to come out and talk about this because if Dan Snyder does have any sort of private investigators looking at what Irsay's like, what do you want to do? Like, hand everyone the newspaper article that already came out? Like, it doesn't matter. He's like bulletproof like that. Whereas, other owners, they'd be upset about their dirty laundry being aired. Like, Irsay doesn't care. It's all been out there. In a way, he was the perfect person to deliver the message.
So, but the question is, what's going to happen from all of this? Because if people listen, obviously there's something to hide because somehow or another, I think in a normal situation, if there wasn't anything to hide, they would have pushed this guy out the door already as it is. I mean, you're talking about one of the stories.
24 votes is a lot. Getting 24 people to agree on anything is a lot.
Yeah. No, I know, but somebody that is detrimental to your league, I think it's pretty easy, to vote on that because, it's a real shame what the Redskins have become, my brother. I mean, they don't go to practices. They tarp off more and more of that stadium. It's embarrassing, really. It almost has to, somebody, I forgot who made the point, but it's really maybe it's up to now players to kind of talk about it and agents and all that. And, oh, no, I don't want to be a part of that organization. I don't want to get drafted there. I don't want to sign there. Maybe those are the kind of things that got to happen that happened to Robert Sarver with the Suns and was happening, obviously, with the Clippers. Also, that once the players and the people that actually make the league have a problem with you and don't want to be a part of your organization, then that becomes a real problem there that maybe even the owner says, okay, I can't fix this. The Dodgers, remember those two owners that they had the divorce and they lost like 1 million people. The Dodgers, they draw over 4 million every year. They were under 3, I believe, that year. And people were flipping out. And that was because of the owners and that ugly divorce that was going on. Maybe that's really what needs to happen.
Probably right. I just don't know that it will. I mean, we've seen this before where you have a coach who's not popular, or an owner's not popular, or a GM, or another player, or a locker room that's bad, and players still go there because of the money, and they get offered a lot of money, and they generally take it, as they should, as would I. So I don't know, and I think with coaches, a head coaching job is hard, really hard. It's hard to get, it's hard to keep. So I think, there's not a lot of precedent for coaches being like, yeah, I wouldn't want to be a coach there. I mean, unless there are a lot better opportunities, and how many guys get multiple opportunities? So, like, I hear what you're saying. I'm just not sure that's realistic. Now, I still think it is possible that Snyder is eventually voted out. I just don't know that it's going to come like that.
So it's interesting how in basketball they're more progressive and they're willing to stand up for their rights a lot more. And I guess because of the guaranteed money and all of those kind of things empower the players.
Yeah, that's real.
Compared to football or even baseball. Baseball, they have a lot of power too. It's funny how football is one of those sports that the players don't possess the same kind of power they do in other sports. All right. Can you explain to the public out there, what is Jerry Jones hard on with Roger Goodell? Because, I mean, Robert Kraft and him almost, like Jerry reportedly said, don't F with me. And Kraft was like, excuse me? He says, don't mess with me. So I don't know. Supposedly that was an exchange. And Jerry's the one guy that is against Roger Goodell. Explain why.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that story. I don't know. I mean, there was all these stories a couple of years ago about how all the debate about Roger Goodell's compensation, which honestly don't know if anybody really cares. He makes a lot of money, whatever.
The whole league makes a lot of money.
Whole league makes a lot of money.
Yeah, everybody. Ian Rapoport makes a lot of money. Everybody makes money in that league.
Last year there was all the, or a couple of years ago, there was all this discussion about how is he going to get paid, and then he just got paid like usual, and then everyone moved on, and now it's the same, I guess, sort of thing again. I don't know. I didn't pay much attention to it. I don't even know if it's a real thing. So I will let that story live where it lives. I just don't know that I can really add much to it if it even happened.
But okay, no, not the story. What's the deal with Jerry and Goodell? Why is it he's so against Goodell?
I don't even know that he is, frankly. I mean, I know. I mean, I saw the story that was written, but in my world, the best way to do it is if I haven't corroborated it, just to kind of let it be. And they've worked together on plenty of projects. They've been on the same side on plenty of things. They communicate on a regular basis. I just, I saw the story. I don't doubt the reporting. I just don't know that it went like that. So I will leave that there.
All right. Good. All right. With the Tua situation, now obviously taking the field, what are you hearing in league circles? Not about Tua. I'm just talking about in general now, about being walking that fine line of teams not losing players when they shouldn't have to lose players. Like, they can say whatever they want about Teddy Bridgewater. There was no wobble. There was no ataxia whatsoever. It's a flat out lie that they said they saw that. And so they put Miami at a disadvantage with that. So I'm just wondering, what fine line are they trying to avoid here? Because you may cost a team a playoff position, a game, whatever, dude.
Yeah, there was a lot of discussion about this yesterday at the fall league meetings, and a lot of discussion from Jeff Miller, from Troy Vincent, and members of the competition committee like Rich McKay. And the sense I got was like, the most important thing is to make sure to protect the quarterback. And it was like this in the roughing the passer situation. It's like this in the concussion situation. Protect the quarterback, protect the players, try to do the right thing by the player. If there is a case of being overly conservative, I think people are okay with that. If there's a situation where a team has a player who's taken out where it was a gray area, maybe you shouldn't, they will always take him out. So I don't get the sense that anyone is going back and being like, oh, he should not have, been put in the concussion protocol. I think it's more like, well, let's make sure we're safe. And then if it affects the team, like, we'd like to not do that, but generally it's okay because we want to keep players safe. And Um, I'm not so sure I totally disagree with that viewpoint, just being completely honest. It didn't help the Dolphins in this case, but overall, it's not a bad thought.
Yeah, they're all saying that now. In December and January, when it cost you a playoff spot, when it costs you a playoff opportunity, and the extra money that comes with that playoff opportunity for that owner, he's going to be incredibly pissed. And so will the coaches. Obviously, the coaches are the first ones to get pissed, but nobody ever pays attention to them. It's the owners that need to really, ruffle feathers. So I know that they're all saying it for all the right reasons now, but the moment that somebody pulls the trigger on a player, you know what I want to see? I want to see you pull Pat Mahomes. I want to see you pull Josh Allen. I want to see you
We
pull
had a
Aaron
situation
Rodgers.
like this.
Teddy Bridgewater is not that name, right? So you didn't take it that way. But when you pull one of those other guys, I want to see what happens then.
I mean, we've had that. We've had star players, go into the tent for quick concussion checks. And, there was one a couple years ago where Mahomes, I think he had a similar ataxia situation, but it would turn out to be his neck, and he got pulled for an evaluation. So it's going to happen.
But
how high profile
now after this incident,
I think it's going to happen. I think we are going to see one. And again, I think it's okay. The game will live on. The team will live on. Keeping players safe is important. I don't even look. The officiating gets a little looser in the playoffs. I think we know that. I'm not sure. I'm not so sure this will. But we'll be watching because it's a topic of discussion now. It's going to be a topic of discussion in the playoffs.
How long does Dan Campbell have left?
I think he's got plenty of time. He's got a 6-year deal. Not going to pull the plug after year 2. I think they knew it would be a tough year. What they hope is that this is the kind of year for the Dolphins that it is for the Texans, where you grow your talent, you build, you have some losses, you get a good draft pick, and everyone kind of learns how to do it, and you basically set the foundation. I haven't gotten any sense it's anything besides that for Dan Campbell. It's been rough, and I think the sort of dichotomy between them on Hard Knocks, which was awesome, and them on the field, which has been not awesome.
No.
That is probably the toughest thing to take because, it's like we thought we knew him, we thought we knew the team, and now they're not very good. So I think that's kind of been odd.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his style, bro. Mike Tice, Ray Rhodes, that rah-rah bullshit, that only goes so far, man.
Not a big rah-rah guy?
I'm not a big rah-rah guy. I'm not. The rah-rah shit dries out quickly. In the end, Ian, you've been in these locker rooms, bro. You're around agents, you're around players. They want to win, and they want to hit their incentives. They want to know what you're coaching them is paying off on the field.
Yeah.
What you're coaching is not paying off, bro. You turn those people off faster than a light bulb.
No, I would agree. And I haven't gotten the sense anyone's turned on him, but philosophically, I agree. That's the only thing that matters, especially when it gets hard late in the season. Only thing that matters.
Look at Mike McDaniel and people. It's funny because I have some fans like, oh, well, I don't know. Maybe the honeymoon's over. I'm like, have you watched the last 3 weeks? He's coached his ass off. They're in games. They have a shot to win in the fourth quarter with a whole bunch of backups. Yeah. I don't know a lot of people winning without their starting quarterback, their starting tackles, and their starting corners. I just don't know a lot of people that do that kind of stuff. And yet they're in there. They're all that. And to me, that's what sells. That's what these guys are in the locker room right now for the Dolphins are going, man, all we need to do is get a couple of our guys back. We're in these damn games. You know what I mean? Why? Because our coach.
Well, they got a good one this week.
Yeah. And they should be able to get it done. But to me, that's what sells in the NFL. You got to show them that you know how to win. And if you don't know how to win, bro, they tune your ass out. Because I've covered the Dolphins for a long time. And the last 20 years, I've had that example happen to me several times over. All right, one more thing before I let you go. Talking to a couple people around the league, there are rumblings for trades. The problem is because the entire damn league is 3-3 or right around it, nobody wants to pull any triggers yet. Are you expecting something to give after this week or next week? Because records will become a little clearer, and then people will know what position that they're in. I'm told another week or two, and the floodgates will open up, and you'll have some trades. What are you hearing?
I mean, it's never as much as people think.
No.
There are some people who think, I've talked to a bunch of GMs about this, who basically are just like, the trade deadline's too early. Like, why is it not later? Which I get. On the other hand, you know, it's not baseball. This is not basketball. Integrating someone into your system mid-season is really hard anyway. You know, like, I like trades. They're fun, and they always generate a lot of interest. But I could also make the argument that with only a couple examples, trades are basically worthless. Because during the season, getting a guy up to speed is really hard. You know, Von Miller last year was a good example of, all right, that was a good trade. That worked. Pass rush, you can get in there right away without a lot. Like
a corner, right? Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, but even there's just not a lot of precedent. Not a lot of precedent for guys being traded and then really making an impact.
Right.
How many are there?
No, I'm with you. But the guys I talked to, they thought that it will happen, that a couple will happen, but they're like, okay, they've got to wait another game or two, and then they think you'll get a couple, and that's what's
I think that's probably right. Now, I mean, again, like, when, you know, if you're 3-3 now and you're 3-4 next week, like, you're not out of it then either. So there's so much parity. Like, I think that you're right. I mean, that really has a big part in it.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. What are you working on the NFL Network so folks can check you out, my friend?
I mean, a lot of Dan Snyder. We're talking about that a lot all day, I'm sure. You know, there's that and trades, I think, is the good stuff over the next couple of days, which will be always interesting.
You got the Dolphins over the Steelers on Sunday night?
I would like to know which Steelers show up. I don't understand them at all. They looked awesome last week without any players. I mean, I guess the Dolphins will probably win. I think Tua probably will be nice to have him back, but I don't understand the Steelers at all. If they came out and looked really good, I guess I'd be like, I don't know. They're just, last week's win was very strange for me, but it was impressive.
I got some fans like, oh, Brian Flores going to go after Tua. I'm like, Terrell Austin's the defensive coordinator. He'll be making the calls. So chill out, relax. Yeah, you know, it's like Flo's coming after him. It's like, yeah, give me a break. All right, Ian, as always, much love, my brother. We'll catch up next week, my friend. Thank you.
Look forward to it. Take care, man.
You got it. There you go. That's our redrecover.com look around the NFL. Remember, you got pains, you got surgeries, you've got scars. Maybe you're losing a little hair. Your dogs, as they get older, Red Recover and Red Light Therapy can help you in so many ways. It can optimize your workouts. You can use the wraps before and after. It can help you alleviate pain from old injuries or surgeries on your ankles, knees, shoulders, back, neck, elbows, you name it, tennis elbow. They've got wraps to take care of all, even for the dogs, even kids. It's all natural. There are no side effects, so it works for everyone. Go to redrecover.com, check out the video blogs so you can find out more, so you can relieve the pain and discomfort that you're in, like we do in our home, like Sean Stanley does, who has a knee that is bone on bone, and it relieves pain for him. redrecover.com. Use our code Big O. You will get 10% off. redrecover.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.